Good evening, everybody. How's everyone doing today? I hope everyone's doing very, very well. I'm doing pretty good. Sorry that we are a little bit late. Was just finishing up a meeting, actually. So just kind of hopping in just now. I'm sorry about that, but we're good to go. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Nice, chill, relaxing Tuesday. I mean, well, not relaxing. Today was far from relaxing, but a good day overall. Definitely a good day overall. And again, I hope you all have experienced the same. So welcome to Mastermind Academy, another episode of Mastermind Academy. Today, we're going to be hopping right back into where we left off with a little bit of Pokemon, okay? Pokemon's great, and we're going to continue along with it. Today is really we dove into do an object-oriented programming like project to just get some feel for classes and understand how to use objects in Python. Today, with the goal of the last final week was to get more seat time and to make this to turn this into a bigger project. And our goal tonight is going to be to extend what we currently have into its own little thing and get enough functionality in there that will hopefully inspire you all to be able to go off and play with it. Hopefully there'll be enough pieces to where you can go extend it and make it great in a number of different ways. We'll also learn a few new concepts tonight that is going to take you into the journeyman level of this course. So, it's going to be fun. I actually have zero plans for specifics. I want to utilize, you guys shared last time, you shared that Pokemon API, and I want to use that Pokemon API to make this application pretty cool. So we'll see what we get. We'll see what we get with it. We'll go over a few things as well, just so we can all get on the same page, and we'll play around with some more Python. So what's up, Latero? You were first. So, let's just be clear about that. You were first today, and we weren't even live. We weren't even live yet, but like you were here waiting. So you get the one up for today. What's up, Layla? How you doing? Sully, good to see you. Welcome. All right. I do have my LaCroix today, thanks to AI Luna. I appreciate you, AI Luna. It's pretty refreshing. Sully, that's all that really matters. What's up, UL? Good to see you. That is, that's kind of all that matters. It is. So first things first, what we're going to do is, if you are new, we did a little Python, a little Pokemon Yeet project, Pokemon version Yeet, where we just yeeted together a Pokemon game for fun. Let's let's grab it. Let me give you the link to it if you need it. We'll talk about what it is. It's in the deCoded Q1 2021. So we need to make it its own repository, make it its own product, so that we can build from it, and then we need to extend it as much as possible. But so we can just look at let me give you the link first if you want it. It is in the week 7 folder, I believe. I do have this. Let me get logged in, and I'm actually going to use VS Code today. So let's hop into a little bit of VS Code. It probably needs to update because it's been a while. A little bit of old school cloud formation that we were using. All right, let's get into our server, and we'll do a little bit of review on where the project left off and what we were doing. And then, we'll have a little bit of fun. Let's see. Let's get on in there. I need to open up the window. It's so weird. Some days this room is completely comfortable, but other days the 3090 is really working overtime and it's putting out so much heat right now. Like, I don't know why. My computer's not working harder than normal, but it is putting out some wild heat. All right, so we're in. Now we gotta open up a folder first. Let's open up this folder. I gotta set up my keys, but we'll do it later. Like we always say, we'll do it later, and eventually we will. And in week 7. So there's a Pokemon.py file in here, which is our Pokemon Yeet game. So what do we do with this? We were learning about object-oriented programming. We wanted to practice using classes. So we made some classes here for Pokemon. We also made classes for kind of our, I think our like list of our lineup of Pokemon, so that we could start to be able to bring on Pokemon and we could battle them. So we got a bunch of different things here, but what we did is we hard coded a list of Pokemon. You can see here we have these Pokemon objects that we currently have, and we hard coded them with a bunch of information inside of them. So that's, you know, kind of nice, you know, but there's not a lot of variation there, and that can get super annoying when there are hundreds, if not thousands, of Pokemon at this point. We're gonna be focusing on the original 150 today, but I think what we can do is make it, I think we can make it super dynamic. So we'll see. We'll learn how to deal with APIs and check out some of the other stuff. Look out for startups going out of business and see if you can pick one up, a short climate controlled server cabinet. That makes a lot of sense. That's not bad at all. That's actually a great idea. I was trying to think of a solution because this room is very small. This room is very small. So that's a definitely something to look into. Yeah, Bulbasaur. So Bulbasaur is my favorite starter Pokemon. One of my favorite Pokemon, period. Top 15 Pokemon of the original 150. Again, I'm an original 151 fan. I had to pull the poster down because of, it kind of fell, and I had to pull it down because of the baby shower that we did, and I haven't put it back up yet. But Bulbasaur is where it's at. So you all told me about this Pokemon API. And it appears to be the de facto Pokemon API. And I don't know how many of you have dealt with APIs, but this is going to be something, especially if you're doing web development or back-end development, this is going to be something that is going to be very important to begin to understand. It's something that we will dive into deeper once we get to the journeyman level of the course. But this API basically is going to be a way for us to be able to gather data about Pokemon. It's going to allow us to gather whatever data we want about Pokemon and their abilities and their types. This is kind of the big Pokemon database. That's what it looks like. I have not used it. I've never used it outside of this right here, outside of this little thing messing around. But what we can do is we can make requests to a system, and we can receive information back about the Pokemon that we want to see. What's up, Rose Gold? Good to see you. So we're going to utilize this to make our application much more dynamic. Now so we're all on the same page as well. Let's run our application so that you can see what it is. Our Pokemon game, Pokemon version Yeet, is a Pokemon game where you don't walk around and you capture any Pokemon. All you do is fight, and you get a randomly generated, randomly selected list of Pokemon. And it'll automatically recruit them for you, and it'll automatically battle against a computer. That's what we started off as. That was our MVP of our Pokemon Yeet game. Today, what I'd like to do, one is first figure out a way to connect to this API so that we could get in data that we want to get, so that we don't have to add in all this information ourselves. The next thing I want to do after we connect to it is to be able to grab Pokemon information at will. We can still do some randomization. I don't know if we're gonna have time to do it today. I would ultimately like to be able to allow people to recruit whatever Pokemon they would want, which is a bigger thing. Easily, I think it's very doable, but I'm not sure in the time that we have, we'll be able to do that. I'd like to pull in move lists and things like that. I like to gather up some real information about the Pokemon. Maybe we can implement some things about accuracy, and I don't know. We'll see what we can get into. But again, the goal is to play with this enough to get it into more of a product state that hopefully inspires you all to be able to continue along with it if you need something to practice with and have a little bit of fun with it. So let's do it. What's up, Burning JC? I haven't been drinking LaCroix, so the carbonation is killing me right now, but it's so good. This tangerine, I don't think I've ever had tangerine before, but it's pretty good. So actually, let me go in a drive really quick. And if I look for APIs, I'm sure I have some slides on APIs. deCoded part 3, maybe. Yes, so this is building for the web. We talked about APIs a little bit, but just as a quick refresher, all an API is an application programming interface. What it allows for is communication between a client and a server. A client being the thing that is making a request for information, and the server being the thing that is returning that information. And what it does is it makes building software, and it makes integrating with other sources much easier. Okay, this is a big thing nowadays. The way that the web is built, APIs are very, very important, and being able to utilize them correctly is very, very important. We're not gonna talk about REST right now. We're not even gonna really talk about the anatomy of the request. Just know that these requests for data are web requests. So very, very similar to what your browser is doing, or exactly what your browser is doing. We are doing that stuff as well. We also don't need to worry about any of the CRUD stuff. We are only gathering, well, I'm pretty sure we're only gonna be gathering information this evening. And maybe when we get to the part, later on, when we are building our own API, we can post and do all the other stuff. But we're basically just going to be making requests for data from this Poke API. Now, a 100% import request. That is what I'm gonna be using, is request for sure. But we can check out the docs here. I'm gonna open up the link to check out the docs. I haven't looked at the docs. I don't know if I need to do any type of authentication. I'm assuming I don't need to do any authentication because, well, that might be a bad assumption because it's accessible right from here. I could also just copy this to see direct link. It looks like there's no authentication needed, but let's see. So the API documentation will tell people how to use your API, how to use this interface to gather data from your own systems. And so it looks like we can do that. No authentication is required. That's great. Nice and easy, wide open for us. That actually makes our life much easier. And it also makes this game, it also is gonna make it much more accessible. People will be able to just download it and kind of play with it if they want. Everything's open and available. This is very interesting. I wonder what they do about, not people making too many requests. The rate limiting has been removed entirely. Amazing. We encourage you to limit the frequency of a request. Okay, so they would like us to limit our connection requests. All good. Fair use policy is free and open to use. Very popular. It's got some rules. This is interesting. Okay, locally cache resources whenever you request them. This is interesting. All right, so a little bit of information about APIs and what they're talking about here. Let's contextualize this a little bit. When you request information from these APIs, it's hitting a server, and a server has a limited number of resources that it can use to respond to your requests. If too many people are making requests, or if you're making tons of requests, it may utilize all of the resources that the computer has to be able to respond with. This is usually why APIs are usually behind some type of authentication. Usually you have to provide some type of key or some type of username and password or something to tell the API that, hey, I am who I say I am, and I need you to allow me to do certain things. This is wide open. We have full access to the data, but they're asking that instead of making requests nonstop to be able to get the information that we need, instead, to limit the stress on their systems, they're asking us to locally cache the resources. That's very interesting. This is, I actually think this is a great thing. This is a good thing. That gives us something else to kind of go over tonight and kind of learn a little bit. Be nice and friendly to your fellow Pokemon API developers. Cool. All right, that seems good. It seems like they have some wrapper libraries here, which are probably some libraries that are going to give us all the tools that we need to do stuff. We're not going to use any of those. Okay, we're going to do this as hard and as difficult as we can make it. But again, we're just going to have some fun with it. So let's do it. Let's do it. Let's start out by making a request for, let's say, Bulbasaur. Actually, let's start by putting this in its own little project. I think that's the best place to start, actually, because right now it's in a completely different space. And so I think what I want to do is take this information. All right, how do I open up a terminal? I'll update, even though we're not working on Go right now. What's up, Goku? Good to see you. Would you set up a DB to store cache results? So these are great questions. So right now for this, so I probably would, if this was a production application, I probably would, it depends. I'd either set up something like Redis, like an in-memory caching solution, If 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 this site is truly wide open, I might set up a Redis cache, an in-memory cache to do this. But yeah, I mean, a database is a good option too. It all depends on the use case. I think that for this, I think that's heavy for this. For Python, right now, what I'm thinking is, and we can get into it right now. I'm thinking that we should simply cache to files. That we should just cache the files locally in the directory. That feels, yeah, save it as a JSON file. That feels like the simplest thing to do for where we are at in this project. But I really like that because now I'm starting to see we could definitely build this into a grand thing. And now I'm actually like invested now into getting it to where we are, where this is like a real application. I like this a lot. But yeah, probably just save it to files tonight. We'll see what else we can get to. So a directory check to see if a character exists, and then make a new file. Ooh, yeah. I like that. I think that's a great idea. So I'm gonna make a new directory. I'm gonna make a new directory here called, obviously we're gonna call it Pokemon Yeet. Cats a Million, welcome to the channel. Come on in, get comfortable, welcome. First off, shout out to Cats a Million. Thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. Let me type this in here. I hope you had an amazing stream. Everyone from Cats a Million, come on in. Come on and get comfortable. What we're doing today is we're diving into a little bit of, we're getting more seat time with Python. We're getting more comfortable with Python. We're just playing around. A couple days ago, last week, actually, maybe 2 weeks, no, last week, we built a, to practice object-oriented programming, to practice, utilizing objects in Python. We built a little Pokemon game, just a little fun, quick Pokemon game that had very limited functionality, but it's kind of fun. We'll play it in a second. But what we're gonna do tonight is extend that. We're gonna take it, we're going to productize it a little bit. We're gonna add some functionality. Instead of, we have some hard-coded Pokemon in there that we created. We're going to go off and we're gonna use the Pokemon API that we found to be able to gather information about these things so that we can have a much more dynamic game so that we can play Pokemon version Yeet. Yeah, so welcome, welcome. It's good to have you here. Cats a Million, what were you doing on stream today? I'd love to know what you're doing, if you had fun, What's up, Coding Garden? It's good to see you. I feel like I haven't seen you online in a long time. It's very nice to see you. All right. Shout out to Coding Garden as well. All right. Coding Garden does a bunch of amazing things here on Twitch. And if you want to learn how to code, if you want to watch someone solve problems in the way that they're supposed to be solved, that's who you definitely want to watch. This is JS, dope. I have generally been staying away from JS, but I might need to dive back into it because I actually might need to learn Angular for something pretty soon. I really don't want to learn Angular. I'm comfortable with TypeScript, but I really don't want to learn Angular. But I don't have a problem with Angular. I just don't want to invest the time to learn Angular. But I might have to I might have to get back to the JS game for a little bit. And it's all good. First off, I certainly understand. I'm going to do my best to not to stick around on here as much as possible. But you all know the little one's coming in very soon, next couple weeks, and we'll see how that works out. I feel the same about Angular. Yeah. Okay. So first off, let me first introduce you to the Pokemon game since we have some new people in here. It is a very basic game. But what it does is it sets up, we have a Pokemon object that has attacks, that has different health, a bunch of different things. It's got some methods in here that you can do for your Pokemon. You can get the status of your Pokemon. You can get the list of attacks. You can run an attack. And you have a team here. You have a lineup. Right now, your lineup is only 3 Pokemon. But what happens is all we have is this little Pokemon list that we created last time. Short amount of time, we created a little Pokemon list, and obviously, if you look below, we got tired of typing out new attacks. So all these Pokemon have the exact same attacks with different values for their damage. And what it'll do is it'll allow you to automatically choose 3, to randomly choose 3, an opponent to take three other Pokemon out of this list, and for you to battle. And we basically it's an auto battling game, and we would narrate it, and it was exciting. What we're about to do right now is, one, make it so that we have access to all 151 original Pokemon, because those are the only Pokemon that matter, even though I like the other Pokemon. You know, I'm not that much of a purist. I like the other ones, but they are the ones that matter. And by changing a simple number, we could get access to as many of them as we want, at least from what I'm seeing from this API. But we want to pull in these things dynamically, and we want to be able to use this information to make our battles much more dynamic, since it is a text-based auto fighting, maybe strategy game. Maybe we'll be able to pick some strategies a little bit later, so we'll see. How to code in Angular, install Vue, be happier. I've used Vue a little bit. I liked it. It was fine, but I don't do enough web development to have super strong opinions on Vue versus React versus Angular. I just don't do enough of it. All right. So, and basically you can win or lose. You can either win and you can laugh, or you can lose and feel like a loser. I'm sorry. That's just how it is in this world of Pokemon. Today we'll make it a little bit better. But first thing we're doing is we're moving it out of that directory, and we are creating something else. New terminal. I'll do it right here, just because I don't feel like logging in again. So we'll make a new directory called Pokemon Yeet. Pokemon_Yeet, because that's what it is. And what we're gonna do is we are gonna copy everything from week 7. I think it's all the things in week 7 into Pokemon Yeet. And we're gonna go into Pokemon Yeet. And what's in here? We can remove OOP, and we can remove tags. Yeah, go ahead and remove regular file tags. All right, and we've got our simple Pokemon PY file in here, and we've got our README in here. Let's go ahead and open this up. I'm gonna open this up right here. Do you wanna save? Sure, save it. All right, now we can go. So we need to be able to access this. We need to be able to access this API. One, APIs give back information a couple different ways. JSON is the biggest way. It's the most popular way. XML is another way the APIs give data back. But there's ways you can do different things. But because these are web requests, it delivers data back usually in JSON. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. Okay, so when I clicked on this, it gave me back information that looks like this. And I think we've seen JSON a little bit before here, but JSON is just keys and values. Okay, it's keys like abilities, and that abilities is it's separated by a colon, and it's mapped to a bunch of values over here. And there's a bunch of different layers of it, and you can nest things underneath. So I don't know what all these things mean yet, but as you look at them, you can see forms. You can see the name of this Pokemon is Bulbasaur, and it has a URL for more information, so we could find this. This actually looks like, I didn't realize this is a lot of data. This is going to be interesting. But we can parse through this data and get some information out of it. What does the API actually do, and why is it so important to coding? So all it is it's an interface. So it stands for Application Programming Interface, and all it is it's an interface. It's a way for you to be able to interact with other systems that you don't have access to, and to be able to request information. So it allows me to say, hey, Sully has a server, and he's got all of his favorite books and movies and all of his favorite animes and all kinds of other stuff on it. But I don't have access to that system. I can't, that database that Sully has, in his house, I'm not networked to it. I also don't know how he built it, so I don't know how to interface with it immediately, but he can build an API layer over top of it. So he can build a little piece of software out in front of it that can accept data, and he can program it to say, hey, if Aaron wants information from me, he can ask for all of my top 3 favorite movies and my top 3 favorite animes by formatting a request in this way. And then so I can make a web request to his systems and I can interface with that API and it'll give me back the data that I want. That's it. And I try to give it in those terms because that is how you would use it. But it's just a little piece of software that allows people to request information from systems. And it is so that you don't, they're so important to coding because they make it easy for different systems, separated systems, to be able to integrate with each other really easily. So like we this database that they have here, we don't have access to it, but they've given us an API to be able to request information through it. So how do you do this via code? How do you interact with JSON via code? Also, JavaScript, JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. And so these are objects, the same way you could think about objects in Python and the way that we've been dealing with objects in Python. These are objects. Objects are simply, a collection of data. It's really just a collection of data here. And you can kind of see that there's multiple items in here with a bunch of stuff in it. It can get a little scary because of all of the curly braces and all the other stuff that's in here. But yeah, so the way that you do that in Python, and this is a good time to go to W3 Schools if you're unsure of some of these things, but we're going to use the request package, and you can also look at how to utilize JSON in Python. You can natively, they have a package for you to use JSON to be able to interact with JSON, but the package that a lot of people use to be able to request data is called requests. All right, we got a request package here, and it's going to allow us to be able to request information. And so this might look super confusing to you at first, but all that's really happening here is if you look at it, if you take a step back and you look at it piece by piece, you can break it down and you can understand it. It's setting a variable, okay, called R, and it's setting it equal to request.get. So request is a package that we're going to pull in. You've seen this before. You've seen this .get a function. You've seen us run methods before. We did it right here in the classes that we've created. This get is a method in the request package, and it allows us to stick in a URL and to be able to get information back. And then once we get that information back, we can break it down, and it's set up in a way to give us a bunch of information. So we're going to take this, we're going to start a new file really quick, and we're going to just get some data from this API back, and then we'll practice working with it. Best way to deal with burnout, that's a good one. The best way to deal with burnout is to have other things which you love. Make sure you're pouring into the other hobbies and things that you have. Make sure you're making times for those things, because you need something to fall back on. You need something to help yourself recharge. It can be tough. You will have times when you are more burned out than other times, just because nature of your work, the nature of the things that you're trying to learn. But yeah, I mean, I would say have other things to do, have other things that rejuvenate you. That's the key. Like, don't just do other things that don't mean anything to you. Do other things that rejuvenate you. It'll make it a lot easier for you to go back and face the next coding challenge, the next tech challenge that you're trying to do. But you will burn out sometimes. And when that happens, if you can, I know everyone can't do it for a number of reasons, but step away for a little bit, find a way to completely get away from it. And as often as possible, I highly encourage you to get completely away from the industry. Step completely away, turn off your computer, turn off your phones for, a day here, a day there, 2 days. If you can get away for a weekend or something, like do it before you get burned out. Start doing it well before you get burned out, and it'll extend your shelf life. Tutorials, if you want to learn programming languages, because I've never gone through, I've only ever gone through one serious coding course. Every time I learn a language, I learn piecemeal from a bunch of different sources. I learn from the documentation, I find examples, I find a book here, I find a YouTube series that has some of the things that I need out of it, and I learn from a bunch of different places. I don't have a lot of singular places that are good for learning a language, to be honest. If you want to get started with coding, yeah, I think Code Academy is excellent. I think there's a lot of places that are good for getting you started, but for really mastering languages, I think you got to pull it from all over the place, to be honest. All right, so something I don't think we talked about yet is I'm going to separate this functionality out. The Pokemon.py file is the main file, and it's getting pretty large now, 126 lines of code in here. I'm gonna make a utilities file here. I'm gonna make a utilities.py right here in this directory. And I'm gonna make it simply because it's gonna be a catch-all for anything that right now I don't know what we're gonna be doing. I don't know what we're gonna create yet, and I don't know what miscellaneous items and things I'm gonna need to use. So this is a paradigm that you might see pretty often in having utilities or some type of file or folder for help or functions. We can create all of these things here. Okay, so just to get started, so you can see what how request works, you need to import requests right at the top of the file. We need to make sure request is installed as well. I doubt it's installed right here. We can use pip to install it, but let's paste that in there. And then we can kind of take exactly what they have here and we can make it easier for ourselves. So I'm gonna copy just this line and we're gonna paste it in. Let's close this. And again, let's take a look at it. We're importing requests. All right, and then we're creating a variable called R, and we're setting it to the value to whatever comes back from when we use the get method, and we were accessing this API, and then it allows you to pass in some authentication information. We don't need that authentication information because our API does not require any authentication information. Okay, so this will give us a bunch of different stuff. So I'm actually going to take this. Actually, I should take a simpler one first, but I'm going to take exactly this because this has a lot of data that's going to come back. But I'm going to take this and I'm going to paste this in here, and it's going to get information from this URL. Some of the examples that they give here, this object, this get method is going to return to us an object that has a bunch of different things in it. You got to go through the documentation to see all the stuff that you might have available to you. But some of the things that they put in here are the status codes. So when you make a web request to a website, if everything, a response code, a status code is returned with that to let the client know, to let your browser know what happened when it requested that data. Did it get a valid response? Was there an error somewhere? And the status code is pretty important. A 200 status code, really anything in the 200 series is usually pretty good. 200 is what you want. So you can find out the status code. So we can make this request and we can confirm if it's valid or not by pulling out .status code. And this is a property that exists inside of the R object, because this is going to return us an object, a collection of data, and we can start to pick out information of things that are in here. And so it's a bunch of different stuff in here that we can see. I'm going to print out for us really quick. I'm going to print out the status code. Just so we can see that. And I'm also going to, actually, let's start with status code, just to see that we are getting back a successful request here. And so first I'm going to make sure I install the request package. So I'm going to do pip3 install requests because I want to be able to use it. It looks like I already have it installed. I think we've done this before. Yeah, I can post the Pokemon API link. It is pokeapi.co. All right. So now that we have it installed, even though we already had it installed, we can now just run the file like normal. And so we can call Python 3 and call our utilities.py. And when it runs, it spits out a 200. And like I said, a 200 is a successful status code. We were able to successfully get information back from this API, but how do we see the information that came back? There's a couple of different ways, depending on how you want to use the data. But if you want to see the text that came back, you can simply call the check the text attribute here, and we can run this again. Now, this is going to give us a lot of information. So give us a ton of information here in the terminal, which is going to be a little bit annoying, but check that out. Okay. it gave us some JSON information. And actually now, because of how much data there is, it's actually having trouble, it's going slow because it can't get all this it's having trouble displaying all this information. This is the same information that's right here. The reason why it looks so good in my browser is simply because of the plugin that I'm using. If I didn't have this plugin, it would be all jumbled up in the exact same way. If I go into an incognito window and I copy this and I do the same thing, I should get the same data. And I get a bunch of just text. I get a wall of text, but this text is valuable. This is an object with a bunch of information in it. Okay, it's a JSON object with a ton of information about this singular Pokemon. All right, pretty wild. So it does the same thing as a curl command. Yes, you could. Yes, we could also do a curl command to be able to get that stuff back as well. That is what the request package does. It makes web requests 100%. The extension that I'm using is called JSON Viewer. Yeah, it's called JSON Viewer in the Chrome Web Store. And yes, this is Chrome. So it should be available in Chrome, or if you use Brave or even Microsoft Edge now, anything that's Chromium based, you should be able to do that. But yeah, any of them should work. There should be a ton of them in the Chrome Web Store. If you just type in JSON, it should come up. This YCSH with rocket ship is really cool. Yeah, 100%. So that gave us back a bunch of data. Not super useful for us, for our eyes, but it's got everything. It's got everything that we need in it. And once you understand how to interact with a JSON object, it becomes pretty easy to utilize. You get excited, you get happy. As long as the data is coming back in JSON, you know you're good to go. If I can get the data in a JSON format, I can manipulate it and I can do what I need to do pretty easily, and you don't have to worry about it too much. The issue right now is that I have no idea what data is here. And so let's say we want to get something. Let's say we want to get something as simple as the name of the Pokemon. Oh, Taco Tuesday sounds amazing. Now, hopefully the taco place is open when we're done with this today, because I would love some tacos. I have not eaten dinner. Taco sounds phenomenal, actually. All right, so yeah, exactly. Now I want tacos, and that's both good and bad. Now I'm gonna rush you all off because I need some tacos. But okay, let's see. Forms, I saw the name here, Bulbasaur. Okay. We requested the name Bulbasaur, and the name is here in forms. That's an interesting place for it. I don't know if that's the only place it is. I could do a Control F and look for the name. I have a feeling that it's going to struggle looking for this, to be honest. But let's see how many different places. Looks like it's just 2 at the top, and it looks like there are 1 or 2 at the very bottom. Let's see. I don't even see it. Okay, so it looks like that's where the name Bulbasaur is at. So it looks like we can try, let's try to grab this data. I just want to show you how you would do it. So if you're used to JavaScript, you probably are using dot notation, and you're looking for dot notation. It was F3, go to the next one. Oh, what is that? Okay. All right, so only 2 references right here. So this is where you can find the Pokemon information. What I did see in here though, is that you can search for these Pokemon in a couple different ways. You can search via the name like this to Bulbasaur, but Bulbasaur is also the first Pokemon, and I saw this here, and this is the exact same request. You can search by Pokemon number and by Pokemon name, and ultimately, if you can do if anything is serialized in a way where you can use the number, it's probably going to be easier to work with in a programming language or via code. Probably, just not all the time, but just probably. And so I think right now I'm feeling like we should use numbers for this. So I'm going to change it to 1 and see if we get back the same information. And utilizing Pokemon number 1, I want to see if we can grab the data that we need. And see if we can get the Pokemon's name back. So I'm going to change this to 1. How is the data structured for? Is it a list? So when it comes back, the data is JSON, and JSON is interactable, and I'm going to show you how to interact with it. The structure of it is it's a Python object. You can take JSON and load it into a Python object, and I'm about to show you how to do that so that you can interact with it utilizing Python structures. It's kind of like a dictionary, actually. It's more akin to a dictionary. It is a dictionary as far as Python is concerned. And so if you know how to interact with dictionaries, then it'll help you to be able to interact with JSON objects. And remember, why is it dictionary? Because JSON is just keys and values. That is exactly what a dictionary is. So if I pull back Pokemon 1 real quick, I'll save this. Instead of Bulbasaur, let's just make sure that we get back the same data that we got before. Okay, so we actually get back data. So putting the 1 in there does work. Just to be sure, let me go and request Pokemon number 2, which should be Ivysaur. You know, Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur, Squirtle, Wartortle, Blastoise, then Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard. I used to know the entire order of the original 150. I used to know it. I could recite it at any given time. I don't know who Pokemon number 10 is. I know Rattata's in there coming up soon, maybe number 11 or 12. I'll look at it. You know, actually, who's 10? Let's see who 10 is. It's a pretty boring Pokemon at that. Whoa. Pokemon. Oh, Caterpie. Oh yeah. Then we get the Caterpie and the Metapod and the Butterfree, and you know, you got to know your Pokemon just a little bit. But okay, so we can pull the data, and we're good to go. Now, how do we interact with it? Well, if I just want, so right now this is just text. And because this text is kind of just a big string, and I can't really do much with it. I can't really parse it in the way that I want to do it. It might take you a long time to figure this out. When you're dealing with it, you can load this string again into, you can use JSON, and you can use the JSON package to be able to load this information in, this data in, and to be able to turn it into a Python object for us to work with. The way that you do it is we can import the JSON object, and there should be I'm pretty sure there's a dot loads in here somewhere. JSON syntax. There's a couple different ways. Because of the way the JSON data works, you have to either convert it to something that Python can use, or convert it out of that so that you can export it elsewhere. I don't know where it is in this documentation, but I'm pretty sure it's a JSON.load that will do it for us. But there's a lot of different things that JSON has available to us. But actually, this is the, let me see, W3 School JSON load. Yeah, so first I'm going to import it. So you can do stuff with it if you stringify it as well. You could have some fun with it if you stringify it as well. But we don't want it to be a string. We can actually, when we pull that text, we actually don't want it to be that, because we need it to be in a JSON object. So what we can do is we can do, let's just say, let's make a new variable called Pokemon. Come on, what's happening? Pokemon. And we'll set that equal to JSON.load, and we're gonna pass in R. Okay, I don't know if it's load or loads. Yeah, it's loads with an S. And so this is converting JSON that's coming back to Python so that we can interact with it, okay? Oh, I was under JavaScript, not Python. That makes perfect sense. I was like, this looks super weird to me. And I wasn't even actually taking it in because I was looking for something very specific. Thank you for calling that out. And because JSON is JavaScript object notation, it's actually much easier to deal with in JavaScript, but it's also pretty easy here. But so they have an example here. So take a look at this. You've seen this. Let's make it a little bit bigger. They're setting up X, and they're setting it to some JSON, and they're setting up it to a string. It's just a string. It's in some quotes, and it looks like a dictionary in Python, okay? But this is what JSON looks like. Keys, values. Then load turns it into When you load it in, it now turns it into a Python dictionary. It turns it into something that Python can utilize to be able to interact with it. And then once you do that, you can interact with the keys. You can interact with the different attributes utilizing the notation that dictionaries have available to you. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing. So let's say, if we JSON.loads this in here into Python, now we can go ahead and we can take it and we can now pull out information about Pokemon. So I have to import JSON first. All right, and we'll do a JSON.loads on this variable. So this is gonna be an object, and actually, this actually won't work. You can't pass in an object. JSON.loads, this function, this method actually, it doesn't actually take in an object. It takes in specifically a string. And so the string that we want to actually convert is not the whole object. We just want to convert that text into something that Python can use. We got the text back. We want to be able to grab that. And then instead of printing out this here, we can print out instead the name. So let's see if we can get the name. We got to look at the data. We have to look at the structure of the data first to see how we get the name. Caterpie's name is in here. So forms is the top layer. I think forms is the top layer item. So abilities is the first item in this dictionary, but forms is here. So we need to go into forms. And now I know you probably can't see it, but underneath forms is an attribute, it's a field, it's a key, but the value of this key is actually an array. It's actually a list, okay? And that array, there's only one here. Oh no, there's not, there's only one here. Oh no, there's not only, what is happening here? There's not only one here. This is a very interesting data structure, but okay, it is an array. And so in the first one, we need to grab names. So Pokemon name's not going to work, but we can try Pokemon name, and I'll show you why I don't think it's going to work. So if we call Pokemon and we call name, just to see it, it shouldn't work. That did work. That did work. That's interesting. It may be in another key. Hold on, why did that work? That feels like it shouldn't have worked. Where is maybe is there another name key elsewhere? And not in the form? Yeah, where's name? Is there no name above this? Abilities. The array is only one long. The next value is another key. The array is only one long. The next value is another key wrapping object. Control F name. Yep, that's I just did Control F name. I got all these containing. You lost me. I'm actually surprised. I actually don't know how that worked. I like this, like top level. Let me bring all these up. Down. Oh, never mind. There's a top level name. There we go. If you close them all up, there's a top level name. Awesome. That works. Perfect. Cool. That makes it a lot easier. I did not want to dive into forms at all, but we might need this. What is this? I don't want to know what that is until we need it. So perfect. You can do that. I wonder when we look for it before, when we look for Bulbasaur, it didn't show Bulbasaur in the middle of the page. But okay, perfect. Good catch. I like that. I didn't want to have to do that. But if we did want to dive into forms, we would have to dove into forms, and then we would have had to dive into this collection, and then we would have had to grab this attribute. And so just to show you what that looks like, forms, first item, name. If we wanted to grab this Caterpie instead, or maybe let's say we want to grab this URL instead, we would have to do something like this. This is how we would access it instead. So we'd see forms, and then we'd have to grab the first item in the collection of forms, and then we'd have to grab the URL. And so this is how it can get a little bit annoying when you're dealing with all of these attributes, but that did give us back what we wanted. So cool, perfect. But we don't have to do all that, which is phenomenal and actually very, very exciting. Pokemon name. I like this. Very much so. I like that. So we get Pokemon name. Let's do, so I'm making a lot of requests here and I want to go back and talk about this, that we highlighted it for a reason. I'm making a bunch of requests right now. I'm sure it's not bothering their system. I'm waiting a long time in between them and I'm only grabbing kind of one thing at a time. Let's cache these. Okay. This is what I think we want to do. This is what I think I want to do. I think that to start the game off, I think that the game should go get information so that you can use it in the future. I think it should only hit the APIs one time. And I think it should go and grab whatever Pokemon you want, 151, whatever subset you want. But for now, let's go grab all 151 Pokemon and all their information. And let's bring it down locally into some files so that we can utilize them better. Okay. Let's loop. Now we're doing all this manually. We'll just loop through it. So let's also begin to turn this into something that we can use at the beginning of the game. So let's make this a function and we'll call it setup game. We'll call it setup game. We'll call a little setup game function here. And let's grab everything else. And let's move that over here. And we'll grab Pokemon. So how would you grab multiple Pokemon? A for loop, okay? So if we wanted to go through, we know how many iterations we want to do. So I could say for Pokemon in range. And remember the range function takes in the starting point, which is going to be 1 up to but not including the endpoint. So I guess 152. So this means it'll go up to 151, I guess. And we want it to loop through that many times. All right. And just so you can see what it's doing, instead of gathering all the information first, I'm just gonna have it print out every Pokemon's name. So this should print out 151 Pokemon names, and then it'll be cool. I feel like other people wouldn't have to read form 0 name. Yeah, that's whack. That's trash. What would be a way to make accessing deep nested values like that nicer? You could save partial keys. You could save partial keys like to another variable name if you wanted, and only pin what extra piece you needed, but that depends on what information you're gathering. Sometimes it's just not possible, to be honest. Is the API random each time you make a call? No, the API is not random each time we make a call. And that's a good catch right there. I know where you're going with that, Sin City. So if we do this, I'm gonna run it as is. What's gonna happen? I think Sin City has it. What do you all I'm gonna give you all a few seconds to just think about what's gonna happen if I run this. I'm gonna loop it through. Well, right now nothing's gonna happen because I'm not calling this function. Just so I'm not trying to set you up here. Is there a way to model the structure in a more OOP or Pythonic way? Yeah, but not in the way that we gather it. Yes, that's what we would have to do if we wanted to do that. This API we don't have access to what's the code that created this API. We could take in the data, and we could extract it to a more Pythonic way of doing things. But this JavaScript object is very similar to, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. So it's actually very Pythonic. This is the object-oriented approach. Absolutely, it will print out the same name 151 times. Okay, you guys got it. Why is it gonna do that? Because every time we run it, we are making the same request over and over again. That was a good try, Yo-Yo. I gotta deny it, but I'm smart. Sometimes I'm smart, sometimes I'm smart. Okay, so it prints out Bulbasaur 151 times. Great, very, very exciting. Cool, but we don't want that. We want it to be more dynamic. We want to be able to gather every request data from every single Pokemon out there. So we need to make this much more. Oh no! Yo, I got that. I got it. I'm with you. I was waiting to see what your second response was, but I was definitely on the first page with you. I appreciate that, really do. So let's make this more dynamic. The way that we can make it more dynamic is we can build a dynamic string here. Okay, we can do this a couple different ways. One of the easiest ways is remember strings are just collections of characters that we can use arithmetic operators to be able to concatenate strings. So concatenation, remember, that is the act of combining a string together end to end. All right, or we can use an F string. I prefer F strings. I actually don't know if an F string is gonna work in here, but let's try it. I really prefer F strings. So we can put an F at the front, and then after we put an F at the front, here we can call what we want. All right, how do we make this number increment every single time? The way that we can make it increment every single time, we don't have an incrementer, but we kind of do, because we're running over this range function, and Pokemon is actually a number here. The way that this is set up, Pokemon is actually an index. So if we type in Pokemon right here, it's a number that should increment every single time. And I don't know if this will work inside of here. If not, we can just do a plus. Yeah, Pokemon is the iterator. It's gonna be the number here, I'm pretty sure. And if we run it again, look at that. And it should go all the way up to Mew2. What happened? Trace back. Json decode error. We got a value of none after Machoke. Okay, that's very interesting. I wonder, I'm doing this one more time. Well, so it said there was no request limit though. It said there was no request limit. Yeah, I should, here we go. I'll also print out the status. I like that. Print Pokemon name, and I'll also do r.status. I didn't mean to close that. Ooh, object response has no attribute status. Hold on. Is that not it? Or is status a, what did I do wrong here? R.status, that should give me status, shouldn't it? Maybe it's, status code. There we go. Sometimes you just forget what the name of the thing is. Status underscore code. And we can also do, so you should be thinking right now, what do we learn to make it, like, if this is a problem, maybe this is a problem with their system, we don't know yet. But if it was, you should start thinking about some of the things that we could utilize to make this better. All right, so after Machoke, it's having a problem. Expected value line 1. What number? The problem is, what number is Machoke? Let's actually print out Pokemon real quick. I don't know what number Pokemon Machoke is, but it's definitely not 151. I'll tell you that right now. Ooh, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. What did I print out? Oh, not Pokemon. Oh yeah, no. Oh. F string Pokemon. Oh, never mind. I'm overwriting Pokemon right here. Hold on. This is why. Machoke is 67, so 68 is the problem. Let's see. Pokemon number 68. Oh, look at that. They've got no Pokemon 68 here, but they have 69. So this is not an issue with us, but there's no 68. So here's what we'll do. Let's start implementing some things that we learned. So let's do a try and a catch. Okay, how about that? So we'll just say, try to do this. If it fails, we will accept it, and we will simply print out Pokemon not found. Pokemon, actually let's F string this. And we'll say Pokemon number, whatever number we're on now, not found. Okay. And then it'll just keep going. Okay. And actually we'll continue. Okay. There we go. Doesn't the API have an endpoint for a list of index of all Pokemon that they have? Maybe. We could look at it. Maybe, probably. But even if it does, oh, so it looks like you can do Pokemon limit 100. Oh, okay. So we could grab them all with no offset. We can pull this offset off. Limit equals 151. And we could submit this and result is 151 items. So yeah, so we could do this, but look, it'll give us, all it does is it gives us back the name of the Pokemon and it gives us back the URL for the Pokemon. This is problematic. Well, it's not problematic. It's just, we need, I think we're gonna need more data than that. And we're still gonna have to reference this anyway. So I don't think that's super helpful for us to use this page here. Include the JSON loads in the try block. That is phenomenal. Yes, I like that a lot. Since I got 64 through 68, interesting. Oh, wait, what do you mean? When you, it doesn't like my champ for some reason. I don't know. Try this URL. For some reason that works. Interesting. All right, let's see. Let me try that. So instead you did. Well, so that means, was it, you're saying try that in the code, but like I'm actually not getting anything back from this Pokemon number though. Like I'm not getting data back from 68, but I make the URL variables. So right now the URL, sure, I can make the URL a variable, but I think the issue is that, first off, is anyone else, so Sin City, it sounds like you're getting this data back. Can anyone else get back Pokemon number 68? Is anybody else getting back Pokemon number 68 at all? Like if you go to this URL, what's happening? Oh, so it's just me. Okay. All right. I see I'm being attacked. So 67 works. 69 to 69 works. So 68. This is very interesting. And also, let me see what happens if so what's interesting is oh, you know what it is? It's gotta be, they have a CDN. No, they have a CDN and we're accessing it from different places. Cause watch this. This is, I'm not local here. I'm not local in this. And if I curl it, let me curl it real quick. If I curl this, curl dash I, what do I get back? And I get a 404 not found here. This is an edge location problem. I bet you. Cause look, X cache hit. It's a caching problem. So wherever you all are located, the edge servers, the servers in which, the edge locations in which your computer is making a request to. So your computer is making a request. This is behind a content delivery network almost for sure. And what happens is it's gonna make a request to the geographically closest location to you. And it looks like for some reason in my area wherever this is hitting, it is, I'm getting a 404 at this endpoint because this server is in New Jersey. I'm in Baltimore, the server's in New Jersey, and we're both getting it. That's very interesting. Is anyone else not? Yeah, it's on Cloudflare. So that's cool. That happens. So we should handle that. We should make sure that we're handling that because that does happen. Very interesting indeed. So we'll try this, and I do agree. I think that all of this should, I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna put this up here. Whoa, what was that? Undo. And try accept, request. All right, so a little bit better. So now it won't cause us any problems if it does, if it should fail. Man, that's very interesting. I wonder how long it's gonna take to come back. Burning JC, where are you located? I'm interested to know where everyone's located now, because that's a very interesting problem to have. And I kind of want to log into, I kind of want to set up a whole nother server somewhere else really quick just to see. But I am getting a hit. I am receiving cache data back. So like, the cache is broken for me at least. In Austin, okay. Yeah, I might have to log into a West Coast server to make this work. That's very interesting. But it's okay. Oh, no, 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 no. Why is it printing out? No, 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 no. Too much. Too much. What's up, Army Guy? Good to see you. Australian, it works for me. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Anyone on the your conflict? Oh yeah. Not anymore. You changed them both to Pokemon. Hold on. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Oh no, it's overloading this. I can't even get out of it. I broke it. I overloaded my machine. Look at that. Oh no. Oh no, it crashed it. It crashed it. This is, I will say though, this is one of the problems, you know, with, you know, I should be running it locally for a little bit more power, but it's okay. You know, not a problem. No, I didn't crash Pokemon. I didn't crash Pokemon API. I didn't. I crashed my system, I hope. I crashed my Linode server. I mistyped that for sure. I've never seen that happen either, but I think it's because there was a lot of information coming back. And it probably also, I might not have crashed the Linode server. I might have simply crashed VS Code. Yep. I think I actually crashed the VS Code and not the Linode server, to be honest. Like, I bet you if I log in here. Yeah, I bet it's fine. This isn't crashed. It's VS Code. Come on, VS Code. Okay. No big deal. The way that I changed it was in the, if you are using the spaceship theme or whatever, it's this spaceship character prefix, and you can change it to whatever you want. That is how I changed it right here at the bottom of my CSHRC. All right, so if this never comes back, I don't want to. All right, it's okay. We'll go here for now, and eventually it'll fix itself after a few minutes, I hope. And we'll just vim it up for a little bit. And actually, we're not in there. We are in utilities, actually. Okay. So we're trying the request. Pokemon loads, but but where am I printing? Oh, this is the problem. Yeah, gotcha. So I can change this to, I'll change this to I. And where am I doing this? And see inside of these brackets and just put I in here and print, instead of Pokemon, I also print I here. Okay. Pokemon number. Oh, bunch of not founds now. Interesting. Okay. Hold on. Did I miss something? Oh yeah, I did. I did the requests. No, that seems right. Try to get oh, it's just yeah. Print statement in the wrong place. That needs to be under here. So it's just printed out every time. And I still need to, whoa. I still need to put a print statement right here, which is simply going to be to print out, I want to print out, I want to print out Pokemon name. And that's all I need because we have the other statement there. Okay. And if we run it, now we do get what we're supposed to get. If we should run into a problem, number 68 is not found. And it looks like we get all the rest. We get Mewtwo and Mew. So we get everything that we're supposed to get. Super odd there. Super odd number 68. It would be funnier if that was 69, to be honest. That would have made the whole situation worth it, to be honest. But, you know, close enough. Close enough. So now we can get all of these things here. Now let me see if this is open back up because I would like to be able to. This screen real estate is just better in VS Code for the way that like this 3x2 screen is set up. Connect to host, sandbox. Oh, actually wrong one. That's not the right one. Hopefully it's not still broken. Coded. Come on. Okay, I hope that me closing that and making a new terminal, I think we're good. All right, we're good now. We are good now. And if I type in, oh, maybe, I think we're good. Nope, I don't want to Vim it. I want to run it instead. It's going a little slow for sure. Ugh. Hold on. Used. Let me see something real quick. I think we're fine. The load is high now. The load is high. For this system. Interesting. What do I want to do? I'm gonna kill the top process, I think. No. Oh, it's going back down. It's going back down. Where's my memory at? Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, we're back. We're back. All right. Just had to make sure we're good there. But it will go ahead and print out everything right there. Cool. So now we have some Pokemon names. Okay, good. We have some Pokemon names. They want us to cache it. We're making a lot of requests. You know, so far we've made a couple hundred requests to this. We're probably, a couple hundred requests to this API. Let's try to save these files real quick. So that we don't have to utilize them later. Let's be able to just grab everything and make sure everything's good. So let's do this. Here's the process. Let's set up a folder. Let's set up a folder on the system so that anyone can just hop right in. Let's set up a folder. Let's make sure it's there. If it's not there, let's go ahead and create it. After we create the folder, let's go ahead and do this and grab all the data, and then let's save JSON files. And I think we should save them via the number, maybe the name, but then we should save 151 JSON files locally to our computer. I think that's the best way, to be 100% honest. At least it's a good way to kind of start with right now. So let's move through that pretty quickly. Should be pretty simple. No need to apologize to me, good dudes. We were late as well. It's all good. You'll be able to get everything that you kind of want to get out of it later on. Is the end goal to import the data for our game? Yes, the end goal is to import the data for our game. And so if you want to play the game more than once, if we were to utilize it like this, every time you played the game, it would go off and it will request individual information. That's good, that works. But I think because of their rules, because of the rules that were given to us by the Pokemon API, you know, I don't want them to get mad at us. So locally cache, I'll make it so that you can locally cache everything. Let's do this quickly. So the way that you can do this is you can import the OS package so that you can do some stuff locally. And what we can do here is we can say OS dot there's an OS package to check if a directory exists. os.path dot is dir. Okay, I think I can do this. I think I can do this right here, and I'll explain to you what I'm doing in a second, but I'm just gonna move a little bit faster because of what time it is. I'm gonna say if OS path is dir. So the OS package has a number of different methods and packages and tools and things for you to use to be able to interact with your host operating system here. And so you can implement some things. The isdir command, it does check if this thing is a directory, but because it's checking if it's a directory, if it doesn't exist at all, it's not a directory. So this is kind of one of the easiest ways to check it. There are probably 10 or 11 or 12 or 15 other ways to check it as well. And I'm gonna say, hey, if this comes back as false, if is directory comes back as false, let's go ahead and let's create a directory here. And I think I can do an os dot make dir. I think I can make a directory and I can make that directory instead. And so it'll only do this if this directory does not exist. So it doesn't redo a bunch of things. And so if you try to create a directory and it already exists, it'll actually fail and give you a weird exit code. But cool. So just to kind of see if this this thing works, let's comment all this out real quick and let's save it. Let's just see if this creates a directory for us, and we can open this up and we can look real fast to see if the directory gets created. We should be able to see the directory get created right over here. And let's go ahead and run it again. And would you look at that? It created us a nice little directory that we could use. Could you try to catch the if? That feels almost taboo if you ask. You could, I'm trying to think. Would you ever, you could, yes, you could catch an if. You could try an if. If that's what you're asking, like do a try catch on it, because sometimes the thing that you're doing in the if could not be able to run if you have missing data or something. It could return an error. But yeah, let's see. We should automate the process to get the data X times a day. You could. I feel like the data is not going to be updated often. Like the original 151 are kind of the original 151. I guess you could, but I think grabbing it once so that you could play the game over and over again probably would be simple. Yeah, I don't think the data is going to change, to be honest. But so it's going to make that directory. Now that it creates that directory, if it's already there, it won't create the directory. So let's go ahead and write this to a file. So instead, in the try here, we'll get the data. And instead of printing out the Pokemon name, let's go ahead and Pokemon equals json.loads. I don't even think we have to do that. If you want to know how to write a file with Python, right? I never remember the syntax for this. Write file with Python, and I just grab it from W3 Schools, to be honest. And you use the open and the write here. So this is all we're gonna need. this little bit of code right here. I'll send this to you if you want to reference it. So we need to get the data like this for the game. Yeah, we need to get all that stuff. And we should get it from the files rather than from the API, because it'll also allow us to play even when we don't have internet. After you originally set the game up, you don't even need internet to play anymore. I think that would be pretty helpful as well. So let's take this and let's go ahead and write our file. So we are, after we get the data, undo, what? Also, that's what I want. Whoops, V. Whoa! Hold on, something's happening on my keyboard. Something is happening with my keyboard and I don't like it. Okay, hold on. So I'll paste it in. There we go. Okay, so I'll take this. Oh yeah, something weird's going on. Something weird's going on and I don't like it. What's happening? I can't hit escape. This is very odd. I don't know what's happening. I'm in normal mode. I'm in normal mode right now. I'm in insert. Okay, so watch this. Watch down here. I'm in insert mode. Okay. Right now I'm in insert mode. I'm gonna paste. Okay, I pasted. All right, I'm in normal mode right now. Look at this. Look. So for some reason, okay, if I do it manually, it's fine. But I tried to do this. I tried to Shift V it. Look at what it highlights when I Shift V it. It doesn't do the line. Shift V highlights the line. That's so weird. Okay, now it's doing the line. This is so odd. This is, super weird, but okay. All right, whatever. That's fine. But cool. So we will take. Oh, but see, now my U's not working. This is struggling right now. The Vim for VS Code is not Vim. It is. I'm hitting right now. I'm hitting DD. It's not deleting the line. Press the insert key. I don't want to insert though. I don't want to insert. I want to be in normal mode and I want to delete this line right here. Oh yeah, it's breaking. It's breaking. We've been here before. We've definitely been here before. Okay. What's up, virtual assistant? Welcome to the channel. Thanks for coming through. Welcome all of the virtual assistant raiders. Come on in. I'm really not sure why it's doing this. I literally cannot delete this line. Let me save it first. Hold on, W. Oh, is it because caps lock is on? Oh, okay. Ignore that. It's because caps lock was on. There we go. We learned something new. That's actually never happened to me before. Yeah, caps lock being on caused every problem that I could experience. There we go. You learn something new every day, and I should have just lied about it. I should have just been like, "Whoa, my computer just started working now, guys." Like, it just started working all of a sudden, and it is what it is. Very, very exciting. So what this allows us to do is it allows us to open up a file of this name. The A, I think, stands for append. It'll append data to it and not overwrite everything that's in it. We can write whatever data that we want to write to it, and then we close the file. It's a pretty simple process. What do we want to do? We want to make this dynamic. We do not want to open up demo file.txt. I think we want to open up /Pokemon, because that's the directory. And I think we want to do an F string here as well. And what we want to open up, I think we should simply make the file the number of the that we're currently on. I think we should make it i.json, a JSON file. So it'll be 1.json, 2.json, 3.json, 4.json, 5.json. UL, thank you so much. It could be UI. I don't know if it's an I think it's an L. Thank you so much for gifting the sub. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. If it was like, why are you yelling at me? It really was. And now I feel dumb. I don't feel dumb. I really don't. Ultros. There we go. Now I got it. I got it. You might have to tell me one more time later, but right now, Ultros. I got it. I got it. Okay. So let's, what do we want to write to this file though? Right now we could write, now the file has more content over and over again if we'd like to do that. But that's not what we want to write. We want to write all the JSON. I want all of that JSON in this file. I think that's what I want. So I think we want JSON. I think all we want is r.text. All right, I think we want what we're loading into JSON here, and we actually don't need this line right here at all because we're not interacting with the JSON right here. So r.text, close it up. All right, I think this will do it. This should give us 151 local files for us to work with. All right, let's try to run it and see. It's taken a while, so that's a good sign. Oh, look at this. We're doing it. We're doing it. Okay. Excellent. These are big files though. Actually, let's see how LL Pokemon. Okay. They're big for text files. They are very big for text files. Let's open up 129 because that's one of the smaller ones. And there we go. We're getting a bunch of JSON back. Oh, our JSON works too. Perfect. So I'm going to format this document real quick. Cool. This is JSON. Phenomenal. Very, very exciting. And now we have a bunch of data. Okay. We have a bunch of data in here already in these JSON files. So now they're all here and we can do some fun stuff with it. But I think we need to do one more thing. Right now, it'll make these requests. You only got 89. What did you put as your, oh, I wonder, that is weird. What'd you put as your range? Also, do you have the try catch in there? Oh, they're out of order. Yeah. They might come in out of order. Right now, it's going to make the request every single time. We don't want it to make the request every single time. I think we only want it to request things that are missing or only on the initial load. We don't want it to keep updating these every time. I don't think. So we're going to do the same kind of thing here. Instead of, if OS path, we're going to do another if right here. So we'll do if os.path is file, because these are files instead. And we'll say if it's in Pokemon, in /Pokemon, and the name of the file is, let's do an F string up front. Pokemon /i.json. If it's there, don't even run the try. If equals false, you don't need to do anything. Just go ahead and move on. Let's go down. There we go. So it's not going to run it. If not, we don't even need to continue because it's going to continue anyway. Shouldn't we write by name rather than the file number to make it more descriptive? So we could, but I guess the question is, do we as the person care about those files? I guess that's the question. Like, we could do that, but the issue with it is, as of right now, the game is still going to be random. It's still going to grab Pokemon at random. And I think having the numbered files is going to make that easier than, easier to make random teams. Exactly. I think it makes it easier to make random teams. But also you can still randomize it with a collection. I think the numbers might make it easier. I'm not sure that there's value in us knowing what each of these Pokemon files are because it's got so much data in it anyway. But you absolutely could do that. And again, remember, I said a lot of things that we're doing are to help get your juices flowing on how you would modify this. So that could be, that might be the better way. It definitely might be the better way. But it would be easy enough to change this. If you wanted to do that, all you have to do is change the name right here to, to grab that JSON data and grab the name and build it up that way. And it won't load up sequentially. That's also true. it wouldn't load up sequentially. So this should do it for that. All right. So, okay. We actually don't even need JSON here at all. I think this works. We're gonna need JSON in the other file now, but let's go back into our Pokemon game and let's set this up as the first thing that happens in the Pokemon game. So the way that we can do that is we can actually utilize the functions in this other file, and I can say from utilities, import start setup game. So from utilities, I'm going to import the setup game function. So this setup game function right here. So I'm actually going to remove it from this file. All right. Let's save this. And in here, the very first thing that I think should run is the setup game function. So rather than starting the game logic, I'm actually going to, comment out the game logic right now. And the very first thing I think we should do is run setup game to make sure the game is set up. So now, which file is not saved? Oh, the 129.json. Okay, don't save. All right, so real quick, I'm gonna run the Pokemon file now instead. And when I do it, let's add some extra stuff in here, just so it knows what happens. Maybe at the very end of this function, it prints out game is set up and ready to begin. Sure. Just a little message so we know something, everything happened here. And so if we run this now, and instead of running utilities.py, we run the Pokemon.py. Game is ready, set up, ready to begin. But what happens if we already have this all set up, but let's say this was the first time that I was utilizing this? I'm going to delete the Pokemon directory. Okay, I'm going to delete permanently this Pokemon directory. No Pokemon directory. I'm going to run the setup again. It created the folder for me, and right now it's downloading all of the Pokemon. We could add more text and say, hey, importing Pokemon, so that we know what's here. And actually, let's make it a little bit better. Let's say we know that if this is here, we're gonna say make directory. Let's say creating Pokemon directory. Creating Pokemon directory. We'll do a ... right here. And then here, when we are importing these things, let's say, let's do a print here as well. And Pokemon directory. And actually, let's just do here a print importing Pokemon. All right, so now it'll give us a little bit more granular output. So now at least people know what's going on. So this will never run. None of this will ever run, these two things, if everything's already set up. But if not, it'll give us that output. So if we do it right now, oh, actually it ran it anyway. Ooh, we have something wrong here. We have something incorrect here. Let's figure out what in the world we have incorrect. It printed out, so it didn't print out the first line. So the OS path thing is right, but it still printed out, it still tried to do all this, and it actually did download everything. I think. Oh, actually, no, it didn't. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. I have to put this afterwards. That's why. I'll put it here. There we go. That's better. Better logic. Game setup, ready to go. If I run it over and over again, game is set up, ready to go. It doesn't run any of this code. But should I delete this? Should I delete this directory? If I get rid of that, it lets us know that it's importing all the Pokemon. And actually, I don't need all those imports either. Whack. I probably should. We can probably put something else in there. Whatever. Good enough for now. Game is set up. It gives some people some feedback. Good to go. Now what we can do is we need to be able to grab some information. So now these Pokemon objects, all right? These Pokemon objects, let's go ahead and create it. So right now we're choosing from PokeList, but let's see if we can get a Pokemon object set up. Let's see if we can do that. Ooh, this is interesting. So right now it takes in all of these things. Okay. We can do this in a number of ways. We can do this in a number of ways, but I think all right, so we got to get name. Let's start with name. Import utilities, import dot utilities. I did not do the dot utilities. Dot utilities shouldn't work. Import dot utilities. Maybe dot slash utilities. No module name utilities. So whatever you named this file, make sure you're importing the same, like it's got to be the same name. Without the extension, make sure it's the same name. So if you didn't call it utilities, don't import utilities. Import whatever you called this file. That's what you got to import. And then whatever you call the function for setting up your game. So let's see if we can grab the name from here. Okay. So this is very, you know what? This actually changes a lot. So here's what needs to happen. When it does the team, when it does this thing here, where does it make our team at? When it recruits a team, it's for 3 times refactor time. Yeah, it is. What it's doing is it's grabbing a random Pokemon from here, and then when it is grabbing that random Pokemon, it is running a members out of pin. I actually forgot everything that we did in here. So members, it's gonna add it to a pin. Pokemon add random choice self.members.append. So it's gonna pin to members. So members is a collection. Add Pokemon to add dot name. Delete PokeList, Pokemon to add that name. Hold on, what is first off, what is happening on recruit here? Hold on. Let's figure out what this is doing. Pokemon to add equals random.choice. So it grabs one thing from here. All right, that's great. Once it grabs it from here, self.members.append. Where's members? Oh, self.members right here. Okay, I'm tripping. Self.members.append. So we're appending to the members list right here. And then we're deleting from this list. Oh, but we're doing Pokemon to add. What are we doing? Select the numbers 01 through 51, put them in a list and delete each of them. Yeah, so we have, here's the thing. Oh, it takes in a Pokemon list. Hold on. So select a random number. Yes, so I think we should select 6 Pokemon from 1 to 151, select a random number, grab that data, delete each item from the list, and the Ds are taken from that number. Yeah, so we could do that. Removing them from the recruitment pool. I get that. The deletion is removing them from the recruitment pool so there's no duplicate Pokemon. I do get that. What I don't get is, where is it adding? Oh, members is the list of Pokemon. Never mind. I got it. I'm tripping. See, this is what happens when you go back and look at your code when it's not well documented. This is what happens. All right, so we got our whole list of Pokemon here. All good. Are we calling add member anywhere? No need to add member because we have a lineup. Our lineup is simply all of our members. Great. But oh, and these are already Pokemon. Okay, got it. Here's what you could do. This could actually go two different routes. You could handle it to where at the beginning of the game, at the setup, you could take all 151 Pokemon and you could load them into the game as Pokemon objects. So that's the first choice that you have. You load in all of the Pokemon as Pokemon objects, okay? Because then once you have that, you can just, the game can do what it needs to do. Or the other option is to only load in the Pokemon as objects once we've selected the ones at random. So select the Pokemon at random first, and then once you select them at random, then parse out the data and load them in as objects. I'll let you all decide what we do there. Either one works for me. Go ahead and pick one. And yes, I am teaching you the value of documentation because then you got to read back over your code and figure out what to do. You finished the last stream saying we needed comments and we don't have any comments. And it is what it is. I was trying to figure out what's happening, but now I think I got it now. Do we want to load in all the Pokemon as objects or just or do we just want to do one or two? So first, you know what? Let's, load as objects, push the parsing errors to the load time, not the actual runtime. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's very, first time here. Have a great name and love your style. I appreciate that. Mastermind as well. You also have a great name. Dope. I appreciate that you love my style. Would it be more simple to delete all that code and work with new data entirely? Simple? Yes, Frequency Hop. That'd probably be simpler. We ain't doing that. we're not doing that at all. Okay, might save a lot of time if we do it all in the utilities. Yeah, and bring the info we need from the API, right? So yeah, okay, here we go. You're right. Let's do it here. Let's do a def real quick. Oh, this is gonna be gross. Let me do a select team. Actually, let me close Slack real quick because all the messages are throwing me off for a second. Okay. All right. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of the way that I'm trying to think a couple of steps ahead. We're as they say cowboy coding right now, and I'm trying to think just a few steps ahead because we could really get ourselves into a mess right now. Make a cache of the loaded objects in utilities. Okay. Export a function that returns Pokemon JSON by name. So you're saying create. Ooh. So I'm actually saying I actually don't think we should do this here. Yes. Okay. So I'm proposing that we don't create another. We don't need to create another object because we have a Pokemon object. We can pull in the object that's here, the JSON object here, and we can extract that data and create a Pokemon with it. Okay. So we need a function for one that's able to create an instance. We need to be able to create an instance of a Pokemon based on the data that is in this other based in these files for one. So we need to be able to create an instance of these Pokemon. I do agree with the parsing errors being put into. I do agree with that, but okay, let's make it easy for a second. Let's make it a little bit easier for a second. Let's remove some of these. Let's remove some of the extra items in here. Let's start out with a simple amount of things. So right now, let's not worry about a tax yet. I think type is easy enough. HP is probably easy enough. We need to check. Let's pull weakness off for now. Let's pull status off for now. So let's try to get name, type, and HP really quick. So once we know what we're pulling and how we're gonna pull it, it gets pretty easy to do. And we gotta pull these out of here. Pokemon object is imported into utilities PY. Would it create an import loop? Good question. Probably. Probably, but I think it's okay. I could probably pull the Pokemon class in. Yeah, I could pull in the Pokemon class. It might cause problems, but I should be able to pull it in just fine. Huh. Needs more. Yeah. Keyword arguments. It needs more arguments, for sure. So let's just pick something. Let's just pick something. So we have a class here, and this file already has access to what's in utilities. Utilities right now. Let's make a function. Let's make a function in utilities that, depending on the number that's chosen, will take in the number. It will grab that JSON file. It'll load it in. It'll extract the information to create, I guess, maybe another object, and then it'll pass it back here. Okay. All right. So let's do this. Let's do this. Def load. Let's call this load Pokemon, I guess. Okay. And load Pokemon is going to need to take one thing, and it's going to need to take in the Pokemon's like number. And so we'll just call that Pokemon here. And let's do this. So we'll need a function over in the other file to be able to create a random number, or maybe we can do that here. Whatever. It's gonna try to request this. When it gets the number, what it needs to do is it needs to load in the data. So let's say poke data is equal to how do I do this? How do you load JSON from a file? I'm gonna have to import that whole directory. Python load JSON from file. We got to read it. Can we return HP name and type? We should be able to. Exactly. We should be able to extract that from this data and return it. Yes, that's what I'm thinking, Brandon JC. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Person import JSON. Python read JSON file. Okay. With open and load it in. With open as F. Okay, got it. Let's take this. Let's modify it a bit. So path to the JSON file is going to be an F string to /Pokemon /Pokemon.json. I think that will do it right there. Basic Aaron's, welcome to the channel. My name is also Aaron, so we're just basic over here. Welcome. MRPC, I've been ignoring all of you followers. I'm sorry about that. Moin, welcome to the channel. Tav, welcome. It's good to have you all here. And here we go. So as F, so it's gonna read it in as this variable. This creates a variable called F. And data equals JSON.loads F, so it's gonna get loaded into data. So now we should have access to these Pokemon. So now, even if we did, now we would be able to do something like we did before, which is like print out the Pokemon's name by doing data name, which should give us what we need, which will actually give us a Pokemon name. We don't need to, are we importing JSON? We need to import JSON in here now. All right. So, well, what do we need to get back? We need to get a name back. So really we could just return data name. What other data do we need? I don't think JSON read will create a missing file. So path touch exists. Okay, true. The JSON will catch JSON decode error in case it's empty. So shouldn't be empty. Well, I guess we could have an empty file. We definitely could have one. And JSON read will create. So actually, I'm actually lost there. Because we're not creating anything here. We're opening the ones that we already have. Yeah. Yes, we are writing an auto fighting Pokemon game, Pokemon auto battling game. Okay, so we need to get some information back. We could return back a couple different things, or there's actually a lot of different ways we could do it. We could have this one function load in all the Pokemon information, or we could write separate functions to get the individual items. So we could have one that returns Pokemon's name, one that returns Pokemon's type, one that returns Pokemon's whatever, or we can have the singular one that returns all three of those things. But data.name, do we have type in here? Let's actually look back at the data. Pokemon 60, maybe 8 works now. 68 still does not work, but Pokemon 69 should work. And let's look for type. Past types. Why is it searching like this? It never searches like that. Type. There's one type on this whole page, and it's not taking me there. Where is it? It's taking a long time to load up. Okay, let me see if I can see it in here. Maybe it's serialized better in here. 129, format document, and oh, it is not like Control F for some reason. That's okay. Oh no. And files to include Pokemon /Pokemon 129. Okay, types. Whoa. Has types. Oh, I forgot I'm using Vim key bindings. Thank you. Yes, I do know that. I definitely know that. I just didn't know. I keep forgetting. That's the weird part about working in VS Code. I want to use both of the features. That makes sense. Let's just look for type itself, and I think it's water is down here. Past types. Okay, that's kind of weird. Types, type water, because I guess it could have multiple types. So we'll just grab the first type, and the first type is in types. Types 0, type name. Ugh, that's gross. So we got to go types 0 because it's a collection. Because of this, type name is what we got to do for the type. And so just to make it a little bit more clear, so our return's not all weird, let's save the name. Say Poke name. Let's save Poke type. Let's save Poke. What was the last thing that we kept in here? HP. I gotta look in there to see HP. And Pokemon name gonna be data name. Type is going to be data. Types 0, type name. I think, is that it? I forgot already. Yeah, types 0, type name is going to give us that. Gross. That should give us that, I think. And let's actually not do that right now. Let's just do these two, and we can return both of these things here. And let's just return name for a second, and let's return name. and poke name and poke type. All right, just real quick, we want to see if this works. So I'm gonna save this really quick, but over here we got to change a bunch to test this really quick. I'm going to leave all that off. I'm gonna remove attacks. I'm gonna remove weaknesses for now. And what we can do is for our lineup, instead of using what we had below there, maybe the first thing the recruit does is for I in range 6. So we're adding 6 Pokemon in here. Let's do this. So random.choice. How do you select a random number in Python? Was it randint? Random.randint, I think. In Python, I think it's random.randint. Pretty sure. I don't want to have to seed it. Seed 1, random. Nah. Pretty sure there's an easier option. Random.choice. So creating a list. Brand age. Huh. Is randint not a thing? So seeding, I mean, it's fine. We can seed with a random number, but seeding is weird. Okay, cool. Random, not random. All right, let's do that. Yeah. So I already have random in here. And so here, let's do num rand Pokemon equals random dot rand int, and you pass in the numbers that you want to search between, which I think is the same numbers. I think it's not including the last one. Let me see. In range B+1. Yeah. Okay. So not including the last one. No seeding necessary. So that'll give us back a random Pokemon to add. Now that we have that Pokemon, we need to import this other utility real quick. So we need to import load Pokemon. I could just import everything, but I'm not going to right now. I think I can do it like this to pull in both of these things. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that function. Since I have the random Pokemon name here, I'm going to call, with that random, I'm going to call utilities. Oh, not even utilities. It's just called load Pokemon, because I load Pokemon, but I'm going to call it with the random Pokemon that we just generated. So it's going to pass in a number. And once that passes that in, I'm actually going to comment out the rest of this for now. It's going to load it in. It's going to try to load that in. And then over here in the utility section, it should print out. Oh, it's going to return some stuff. So let me save those. Let's save, name and type is equal to this. Oh, not type. Type doesn't work. We can use the same names over here. So poke name and poke type are equal to that. And then all we're going to do is print those out for now, because we're just going to print them out. Poke type and poke name. All right. Type works only function name, not a reserved word. Interesting. Okay. Probably should check to make sure ID exists in case Pokemon selected is 68. That is really, really good. That's a good step for sure. We should do that, but let's make sure that this function is giving back what we are expecting to get back. And this I'll just call, I'm not gonna run the whole game logic. I'm simply just gonna run, I'm gonna create an instance of a Pokemon, not a Pokemon, of lineup. And then I'm gonna run lineup recruit real quick. So instead, I'll do setup game. I'll leave that in there. And then I'm gonna say, you know, X equal to an instance of lineup. And then I'm just going to run X dot recruit. All right. And this should at the very least give us some printy stuff out, I hope. Yes, expertise. There was a web development camp that was supposed to start this month. The wrench in the plan was simply that I'm having a baby this month, like really soon. And so that was been the rant. I didn't want to start it and then not know what my schedule was going to be like and have to stop it. So the goal, because someone is supposed to be coming to help out with it. Actually, the goal is actually to start it with the other boot camps. So all the intermediate boot camps start in April, at the beginning of April. And then the web development one should start at the same time, but it'll be the introductory one. It'll be the apprentice level. So it'll be 3 intermediate boot camps and then and an apprentice one. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, let's do it. There we go. Take 6 arguments before we're given. That makes a lot of sense because I tried to, that was dumb actually. Takes 4 positional, but 6 were given. Where were 6 given at on the init? Actually, that makes perfect sense. Let me go back to lineup takes in a poke list. But actually, what was this the init for though? Because I didn't call Bulbasaur. Where is this happening at? Line 64. Where are we making Pokemon at? We're not making Pokemon. Okay, list. I see that. But these aren't getting pulled into game logic's not getting pulled in. But what about the Pokemon class actually shouldn't be getting called at all. It shouldn't be getting called at all. Missing no. It could be missing no. For sure, we need to pass a variable to recruit. Oh, yeah. That's true. Except now we don't. We just get rid of it. We don't actually need a poke list at all. Because we're pulling it from this other file. But that error seems different though. That error seems like, okay, well, we'll see. So yeah, okay, takes 4 positions. So the init is trying to create a Pokemon, but I don't know why it's trying to take. It takes 4 positional, but 6 were given. So it's given. I'm given 6 somewhere, but where in here? Members. I'm gonna ran it. Equals. Yeah, I'm not. Group Pokelist. The Pokelist is still being defined where. So yeah, Pokelist as a. But this Pokelist is just a dictionary, right? So like, I'll just comment it out. You're instantiating a Pokemon object with Pokelist. I don't think I am. Oh, yeah, I am. Right here. Thank you very much. Yes, I am. I missed that. It looked like it was just a dictionary, just a regular dictionary. There we go. That makes sense. That'll do it. Look at that. We're getting data back. Okay, this is great. So it selected random Pokemon, and it selected 6 random Pokemon, and it gave us their type, and it gave us their name. I can do it again. You can see that we get completely different Pokemon here. Phenomenal. This is good. Because we're getting this data back for the recruit, we can now create, we can now instantiate these right now. 100% in-pair programming, go team. We're doing it. We're definitely doing it. What's up, Como? How you doing today? So we've now confirmed that this utility function is helping us do what we need to do. All right, so now if we're gonna get this data back, we can grab all the data that we need. Let's see if we can see, can we do hit points? I feel like HP is gonna be here a lot of times. Base stat 80, it's, oh, actually HP, enter. 1 of 1 match, HP, ooh. HP goes off to another, you gotta make another call. This actually helps a lot. Affecting moves, but actually it doesn't show the Pokemon's, maybe it does. All right, maybe every Pokemon has 100 HP to start, and this will be fine. Okay, let's do it that way so that we can make a more complete. Every Pokemon has 100 HP to start, I guess. We can extend that later because I don't see where the HP is in this data, but it's fine, completely fine. The HP, so that HP equals 100, I guess. Or should I should just do it here? Equals HP. Okay, so now it'll take this. Pokemon HP is in original JSON. It is in original JSON. Where is it? Unless the base stat is this it? 20 HP? That's pretty trash. I'm not gonna lie to you. That is a pretty trash HP right there. If that is it. Frequency is this it? I'm assuming that is it. What Pokemon is this? And how trash? Maybe it's not trash. I don't know what Pokemon this is. Oh, Magikarp. That makes that. Okay, see, context is key. Yes, Magikarp, that does make sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually. That makes a ton of sense. It makes a ton of sense. So let's check out like a Charizard. Actually, let's check out a Venusaur. And let's look for that HP. Singular base stat HP. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's better. All right, cool. Let's take that. So it's underneath stats, which is underneath. So stats base stat is what we want to. Stats 0 base stat is what we want to grab. I think. I don't think it's nested under anything else. Okay, stats 0 base stat. Let's do that as well. So let's go back down here. Oh man, now we just have a lot of stuff in here now. So we'll also grab Pokemon name, Pokemon type. Let's also grab Poke HP. And we need to now update our utilities to grab Pokemon HP. Data, stats, 0, and HP, I think is what that was. Stats. Oh no, never mind. Just stats 0 base stat. That's 0 base stat. And we need to return also that Poke HP. Okay. All right. I like this. I have to imagine that the attacks are gonna be much harder to do. And now I really want to continue on with this. What time is it? 9:11? Okay. All right, so let's see if we get our base stats back here. Poke HP is being returned, but it's not being used. Let's print this out as well. How we make a JSON data structure more OOP. It's interesting. It's such an interesting question because the data structure is very is. So we're putting it into, we are taking the data out of the JSON object and we're sticking it into the objects that we created. So yeah, this, I guess we are doing that where we're pulling it out of one object and sticking it into another object that we've created, I guess. And so let's run this again. And okay, so we are, oh, this is great. Our Pokemon have HP now. This is great. I think the last, so what we should do to have this still be a functioning game? Because we don't have, I don't want to spend, actually, let me look at the attacks real quick. I actually have no idea how the attacks look in here, or like how we can get them. It might be easy to do, but let me see. It seems like there's a ton of attacks that can happen, but maybe we can grab just the first like 4 attacks. I think most of the data in here is attacks. I think it's abilities. Overgrow, but it doesn't tell us how much damage it does. Okay. Okay. This is actually going to be problematic. So here's what we'll do. I encourage you to go off and try to do this yourself. To be able to dig into this, you probably want to create some more utilities to be able to go make requests, because it looks like we have to go off and go hit more API endpoints to gather how much damage attacks do and stuff, I guess. Ooh. All right, so here's what we're gonna do, because it's sake of time, and so we can get the game to run. I think this actually gives us a good base. Let's add back in. Let's add a standard list of attacks, a very generic list of attacks in here. Let's take, we'll change these words, yank. And right now, all of our Pokemon will just have to have a base level of attacks. So don't even take an attacks, but we can do a self that attacks here is equal to, oh, undo that big time. What do we want to do? We'll make the list much more generic than this. What's happening? Am I copying that? Feels like I copied it, but it seems like it did not. Actually, let me use Vim. Let me just use Vim. That makes sense. You know, let's see. What do we want to go all the way over to? And yank it. And I want to put that up here. We're in normal mode. There we go. That has everything that we need. Let's go ahead. So tackle, let's do, what are the basic moves that you get at the beginning of the game? You get something like Leer, which doesn't do any damage, but whatever. Let's you know, a lot of Pokemon can do like cut, and we're just, you know, just regular moves real quick. Yeah, so I think another directory for abilities might be good. It makes the setup longer up front, but I think you would have to go and do that. And Scratch, I like that. So Scratch is gonna do the most damage, even though it doesn't make any sense. Whatever. All Pokemon will get the same move set. This is cool. This is gonna make it much more dynamic though, because now HP is dynamic. Okay, so let's take that. We'll save we're not gonna use weakness or status now, but we'll leave that there so that we can add some stuff here. Okay, but one other thing has to happen. We get this information back. But once we get it back, we have to use it to create a Pokemon. So what happens here is we need to create a new instance of a Pokemon. And oh, actually, okay. So we might have to do something like, Pokemon making us, yeah. How were we doing this before? We were creating the object right here with this name. We're creating we're creating a dictionary. So we still have to do this. Okay, cool. Right here. Pokemon add random.choice. And yeah, this is good. So Pokemon, it's not random.choice. We can actually keep all this code, I think, except for maybe the delete. We might not be able to use the delete, but we're gonna add this to our list. But instead of adding instead of doing a random.choice, we no longer need to do a random because we've already done the random. We need to add a dictionary here. We need to add in a dictionary that is the Pokemon's name. So it needs to be Poke name, because that's what we're looking for. And then the actual Pokemon object. And so we need to actually do this. We need to do it here now. And in the Pokemon object here, what does the Pokemon object need? It just needs the name, the type, and the HP. So then in here, we pass in Poke name, Poke type, and Poke HP. Okay, I think that feels right. And then so now it'll get added to the Pokemon to add, and then we will add it to the members of the list. Okay, so we'll add it to our list of Pokemon. Though Pokemon can be decorated with a little memorized dictionary. Yeah, you're 100% right. So let's now run this. I don't know if it'll run, but it might run. Let's see. It might run. It might run, but it's gonna give us. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's delete this, and we'll pull back in our game logic, but we don't need to pass anything to game logic. Okay, we no longer need to pass anything into game logic at all. We're gonna oh no. Poke list of Pokemon. Hold on, actually we can do this by doing, let's actually keep everything that we had. And in game logic, we pass in X dot members. All right, if we pass in X dot members, that's the list that we need, I think. If this works, I would be so surprised if this works. I don't think this is gonna work, but gotta try it out. Let's make sure everything's saved. YOLO it. You gotta YOLO it a little bit and see what we get. Okay. So okay, ready for recruit. And then we got an issue with recruit. Recruit takes one positional argument, but two were given. All right, recruit. Two were given. I'll be surprised if this works. Something to say. You are correct. Recruit takes two. Oh, we're not even using I. Oh, we need this. No, we don't need I, actually. It says two arguments were given for that. Let me see. What are they saying? Takes one, but two are given for recruit on line 74. Let's see if we can get this running real quick. Oh, we actually don't need this anymore. We don't need this. Our team can be equal to simply just Poke list. All right, it can just be that. Okay, maybe, hold on. Oh, look at this. Oh, okay. It took a little bit of time, so I thought it was gonna work. So list object has no attribute, show lineup. Okay, hold on. So show lineup is, our team needs to be an object. Okay, cool. So our team can't be Poke list. Our team needs to be Poke list dot. This is kind of weird, actually. So maybe I just pass in X and call PokeList.members here. Our team is PokeList.members. No, that's not right. That's not right, because our team needs to be the object itself. It needs to be a line object. So our team, we don't even need this, do we? in our team.lineup. Yo, what's up, Ezekiel? How you doing today? But this should work though. If we set our team equal to poke list, and we're just passing in X, show lineup, our team is equal to dot recruit. Or do we already recruit? There we go. Hold on. Delete this. Let me delete that. So we have a lineup. We pass in the lineup here, which we don't need to do, but I'm gonna do it anyway. It gets passed in here. This is a lineup object. The first thing we're gonna do is recruit everybody. All right, this is it. This is the one, y'all. This is the one. Thank you so much for subscribing. You subscribed right on time, because here it goes. Watch this working application. Oh, dictionary object absolute has no object. Okay, so it got farther. Get status. Where's get status at? Hold on. We made it farther. We knew this would happen. Your poke list variable for the function of uppercase L. Hold on. Poke list for the function uppercase L. You lost me. Now I'm lost. Now I'm confused. No, I think it's lower. Oh, is it uppercase? Oh, no, I think that's just how it looks. I think it's just how it looks in there. I'm not sure why it's like that. Yeah, your Pokemon list. So now it got farther. It got past this. It got to show status. It got to show status. Where is, or show lineup? Where did it get to get status? Get status. So it got pretty far down actually. I think. Where the heck is get status at? Hold on. Recruit. I don't need this. Hold on. I'm tripping. Let me look through it. Pokemon list, recruit, and team. Oh, team show lineup right here. So our team dot show lineup. Where's show lineup at? Show lineup takes himself. Okay. Oh, it's wait. Our team is now poke list that recruit. Oh no. Actually, let me hold on. Hold on. Here we go. We don't need to take in anything. We don't need to take in anything at all. Right? Am I making this up? Maybe I'm making this up. Take in nothing. Call game logic. The inside here. And it'll still take over because it's going to create new objects here. So it creates a new object here. Recruit, but it doesn't need to take in anything. It doesn't, this is what we don't need. Okay. Hold on. I think I got it. You know, you gotta be optimistic. You gotta be optimistic here. And then that'll make all the data types the same. I think this will make all the data types the same. I think, let me see what output I get here. Okay. So dictionary object get status. So let me look at the get status on line 49. It said I.get status 49. For the show lineup, self.members, I.get status. So it sounds like there's not a Pokemon in there because the Pokemon get status is here. Okay, this is good. This is good to know. I think we're good. This means what's being passed in is not. It seems like it's not an object. Pokemon to add. Is that, let me try that. Let me see. DJ on Tom Cruise music for, I mean, you know, I gotta use whatever, you know, you gotta do the 80s. What is this? This is the Vaporwave or whatever. Sometimes you gotta Vaporwave it. Sometimes you gotta do lo-fi hip hop. Sometimes you gotta do lo-fi rock. Sometimes you gotta do all kinds of different stuff, you know, to keep it fresh. Oh yeah, it's definitely font formatting. Okay, so right now it's saying string object. So there's a string. Hold on. There's a string and not an object where I need it to be. My Pokemon is a string and not an object. Why is my Pokemon a string and not an object? We got to figure this out. We have to figure it out real quick. We are creating a Pokemon right here, right? We're calling class Pokemon. And we're sticking that in. You know what? It's just this. I think it's just this. I think we just need to append the Pokemon and not that that dictionary object. Nope. Okay, there we go. Okay, I think this is better. Team selected, meet your new team, and then try to show me my team. It's creating members of a list and the list of dictionaries. Yeah, exactly. So now, instead, Pokemon object has no attribute status on line 18. Okay, that sounds soft as status. Oh, cool. So there's no status. This is good. So HP, let's do type. There we go. I think we're doing it. Y'all. I think we're there. Self.type. Yeah. I think we're doing it. Here we go. You know, just one by one, you got to fight through the errors. Okay, this is it. Okay. Yeah, this is great. So now the fight's gonna happen. It's actually doing it now. And hold on, Control C. It's actually running now. So it is working. It selects the first team. We got a Pidgeot, which is amazing, a Nidoqueen, a Zubat, a Beedrill, a Psyduck, and another Psyduck. That's actually very interesting that we got 2 Psyducks in a row, but it is random. Okay, then they got a Paris, a Drowsy, a Golbat, a Mr. Mime, a Wigglytuff, and a Wigglytuff. This is interesting. We definitely have a problem here. Okay, we definitely have a problem with the last 2 items for some reason. Why is it doing, the last 2 are the same? We gotta figure that out real quick. And then we gotta let them fight. Where is it appending these things at? 0 to 6. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That should be 6. Okay, so it goes through the first time, second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time. The 6th time is 5. Oh, wait. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. Why? We need a status because when Pokemon loses, they go from awake to fainted in their state. So in a real game they would. For right now, it chooses who lost if their HP falls below 0, rather than checking the status. Or maybe we are changing the status. Are we changing the status? Get status. I don't know. Let's see. But why is it giving the last 2, or is it just printing it twice? Hold on. Is it just printing it twice, or is it actually giving us 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Yeah, no, that's not right. It's doing something wrong, but okay, we might have to leave it at that. Let's just see what happens when a battle does happen. We're gonna narrate it a little bit. Let's go. Let's get a little bit of oh, okay. Okay. Recruiting enemy team. So we got a problem with one of the deCoded characters. We should handle that, because for some reason one of those problems is not working. So okay, that time is better. Hold on. What are the odds? No way. Actually, I won't say there's no way, but it seems like there's no way that for both of the previous runs, it would have gotten randomly lucky enough to get the last 2 be the same. But here we're good. We're actually good here. And they got a Zapdos. We had to leave that one because they had a Zapdos, which was going to whip us. Look at the Chansey's HP. They were going to kill us. Okay. Well, we did have a Lapras. Okay. All right, cool. I'm running it. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, we got oh, that's too many Pokemon now. Let's go. We gotta hold on, one more. We have to at least narrate one game. Let me turn the FX off. Let's change the music. We gotta get the Pokemon music going. Hold on. Pokemon fight music. Hold on, let's where's YouTube at? Pokemon battle music. Okay, let's turn this off. Let's get ready. Let's turn on the announcer voice. Let's go for red, blue. Yeah. Let's run it. Okay. We've got Venomoth, Rapidash, Electrode, Nidoqueen, Lickitung, and Seal against Poliwag, Bulbasaur, Dugtrio, Eevee, Pikachu, and Pidgey. Let's go. Here's the fight. Get ready. We got Venomoth attacking with a scratch doing 35 damage to Poliwag. Poliwag's only got 5 life points left. It's going to die real fast. Poliwag tries to attack back, but this is going to die. Got negative 30 life. Poliwag is dead. We get one. We have one. Rapidash versus Bulbasaur. Obviously, Rapidash should win because Rapidash is, in fact, a fire Pokemon, but looks good. Somehow, the Bulbasaur did fade. We won again. We've got 2 points now. We got Electro versus Dugtrio. That's ground type versus electric type. Electric type should lose this one big time. Dugtrio did, in fact, die, even though Dugtrio should have won. But we are up 3-0. We are killing our opponent. Eevee versus Nidoqueen. There's a poison type. Something else is going on. We won again. I don't know what happened. It happened so fast before our eyes, but we won. Now we've got Seal versus Pidgey. I don't even know what Seal is, to be 100% honest. That does not sound like the original 151, but maybe it is. But look at that, 6-0. We won. Unstoppable. Amazing. We did it. We won that. We won that round. That was exciting. We just needed one. We just needed one. You know, so we have a lot to do. We have a lot of of things to add in. We need to take into account weaknesses and strengths and stuff. But look at that. We were taking into account different HPs. We got random assortments of Pokemon now. This makes it a little more fun as you go off into the future. I am definitely going to continue to build this. This is actually, I'm really liking this. I'm really liking what we can do with this. Yeah, you know, this is like Pokemon Arena. It's really like Pokemon Arena, but a text-based game, but a random Pokemon Arena rather than you know, picking your own Pokemon. Is it rigged? It's probably rigged. I gotta run it one more time to see if we hold on. Let's so that's weird. It does not run twice in a row. Pokemon 152.json. Yeah, we need to add some error handling. You all should definitely add error handling. I'm gonna change it down to just 3 Pokemon real quick because I want to see it go faster. And I just want to see if, like, because no other Pokemon won, I just want to test to see if the enemy can win at least once. But we got an Arcanine and a Dugong, though. That's a big deal. They did get a Wigglytuff, but we should win 2 out of 3 at least. The Magikarp, they're definitely going to lose the Magikarp to the Arcanine 100%. But we have Raticate against Kingler, so that looks good. Raticate versus Kingler. So we are doing this. We are going through and having a good time. So Kingler lost. We have Dugong against Wigglytuff, which is right. Dugong against Wigglytuff, which is the second one. And let's see. Their Wigglytuff should definitely win though. Should. It's random, so maybe not. Oh yeah. I mean, Dugong just had no chance here, to be honest. Dugong is dead. Okay, so I just want to make sure the enemy could win one. The enemy did win. Our output is trash, but it's fun. The game, you know, it kind of works. We still won 2-1. I just wanted to ensure that the opponent could in fact win. Cool. So what did we dive into today a little bit? Like tangible takeaways for today. We had a lot of fun. We're just messing around a lot, but we did do a couple different things. We first saw how you could use Python to make web requests. Using the request package, you can make web requests. And so every language has the ability to do this. You can make some web requests. And we also saw how you could utilize an API. We were able to grab JSON data. We were introduced to JSON, and we saw how we could manipulate and extract data from JSON using Python. Again, this is something that you could do with lots of programming languages. So make sure you're thinking about that. You can grab this JSON data from different APIs and be able to manipulate the data how you want, grab the information that you need. And we also used some, we modularized it a little bit. We didn't, it's not complete modules, but we were able to use a completely separate file with different functions, and we're able to use those functions in a different file over here to kind of separate our code. So now we're getting into the space where we're talking about our code design and figuring out how we're structuring things. So that's exciting. But we got to add in a bunch of cool stuff. I'm gonna clean up like this real quick. And we're gonna push this. It has no comments. We should comment it, but we're not gonna comment it right now. But yeah, we got some cool stuff here. Hopefully you had a little fun with this. I'm interested to see what people can do with it. I'm gonna try to do some stuff with it. Let's create a brand new repo for it right now. Its own repo, which is gonna become the #1 repo on GitHub with the most stars very, very shortly. So, you know, here we go. Pokemon Yeet. This is it. Repository name. Hopefully the Nintendo corporation does not come shut us down, but it's okay. This is the description is simply going to be gotta catch them all, because you know, it's what it is. Gotta catch them all, because it just makes perfect sense. It is public. We should add a README. Okay, real quick, let's add a very simple README as well to this, because we need it. I'm actually going to delete this. And we have a README in here already. Do we really? Okay. All right. Pokemon Yeet. We're going to say this is an auto battling Pokemon CLI game. To begin, simply run. What did I just do? Oh, it scared me. What's happening? Hold on, escape. Is caps lock still on? Oh my gosh. Hold on. How do I do a, I want to do, if that's tilde. There we go. 3, 1, 2, 3. And simply run Python 3 Pokemon.py. It's just a basic starter, and we'll explain what it is. We'll update it to explain what it is, but I gotta get out of here. We can look at it, make sure it looks good. Look at this preview of this README. Look at that. Look at that. We'll make it nice though. We'll definitely make it nice. And now that that's done, let's go ahead and let's push what we have. I'm going to I should just do a git ignore, but you know, we're not doing this right. We're just doing it. We'll start a new repository, get in it. And now we can grab the information from here. And I'm going to get status. What are we looking at? Git add all of it. Git commit -m. Working game with dynamic Pokemon. But static attacks, I guess. Okay, git push. And now you all should be able to grab this. Mama, it's all good. Never apologize. Yo, it's completely okay. There you go. There you go right there. There's the link. If you want to take it, so fork it, grab it, do whatever you want to do, copy it, and you can take this and you can extend this. You can make your own Pokemon version. I actually really want to make this. A full-fledged, like Pokemon Stadium-esque, like maybe there's a random game mode where you just fight, and maybe there's another one where you actually select which Pokemon you want. I like this. This is fun. This is exciting. You know, just messing around. This is what code can do. Maybe this will be the most popular Pokemon game out there, and we can all, you know, collectively get rich off of it. You know, it's all good. Please update your YouTube. I know. I know. I'm with you. I'm with you. The videos are there. I can prove it to you. I can prove it to you. Just so you can see, the videos are, how do I get into my YouTube studio? They're here, okay? Hold on, if it ever loads. Content. Look at all these. There's all these drafted videos. There's videos way below this. They're all drafted. They're uploaded. I just have to put the data in, and I will try to do this right after this. I am sorry about that. I'm so sorry. I really am. I really am. All right, your first React project. That's dope. Congratulations. You know, get it done. You know, React is both terrible and amazing at the same time. I missed more chances to derail Python tutorial. No, I mean we were never really on any rails for this whole thing. But again, we're at the very end of this. So where should you be right now? Right now, all you should do, all you need to worry about is if you were just starting to code at the beginning of these 8 weeks, all you should understand now is that you can use code to make instructions to the computer. You should understand some of the different topics that we did. You should understand a variable. Do your best to understand a function. Do your best to understand how to do some of the arithmetic operations. You know, we think about the logic that we've done. We've done the same things over and over again. And this is what coding really is. You do this, it's really the same set of tools. So hopefully you picked up some of the tools. It's okay if you're like, hey, I know what a function is. I know what a variable is. I know what these different pieces are, but I don't know how to use them together. That's okay. That is completely fine. It takes time. It takes repetition. It takes seat time. I'm going to continue to use seat time to be able to start to think like a developer, to start to solve problems in the way that you can with code. And so it'll come. Just keep practicing. We're actually going to start 100 days of code soon. I have some information coming out about that. So, but it's going to be a guided 100 days of code. So if you don't know what you want to do with your 100 days of code, I'll have some guidance for you on what you can try to do each day. I will be participating as well. But again, I was kind of holding off on the start date because of the baby, but I think it'll actually work out fine because of the baby, because, you know, I'll probably be up and just up and waiting, so it'll probably be easier to get through some of that stuff. But yeah, what is C time? I don't know what that means at all. Yeah, 100%. So 100 days of code, people do them all the time. You can start it whenever you want, but it's seat time. Sorry about that. Yeah, seat time, like time and seat. It's a racing term. It's a, hey, if you want to be a better driver, you've got to get seat time. You've got to sit in the seat. You've got to drive around. So seat time. And so this is the same thing with coding. You know, if you want to get better, you got to get time practicing it. You got to get time playing with it. I really want people to feel like I want to start using the word playing with the code more, because when you say practicing, it makes people feel like they have to be getting to an end goal. They have to be doing something meaningful with that time. You do not have to be doing anything super meaningful or important or solving a problem. You've got to just be touching the thing and seeing how it works and messing around with it. I really want to encourage like playing around with the code. That's why we kind of continued with this same little project, to show you that like there's a lot of concepts in here. Like there's a lot of different concepts that we touched and a lot of different tools that we used. So yeah. Cool, but that's it. That's everything. Tomorrow, if you want to come back through to, if you're in pipelines, we're doing the Ansible workshop tomorrow. Also, this is a big thing. If you're in Horizons, Friday is supposed to be the serverless workshop. It's going to be moved to Thursday now. Okay. The reason why it's going to be moved to Thursday is because I got to go get some seat time. I actually have a track day set up on Friday, and I'm not sure that I'll be back in time. So on Thursday, we will move Horizons to Thursday. All right. So pipeline. So we're done here. We're deCoded. We're kind of done with pipelines. We have one more day. Horizons, we have one more day. Yep. I'm throwing the car on the trailer, and I'm gonna try to record. I'm gonna try to, if my setup works, I have a little suction cup mount for the sunroof, and I can use my old phone to record. I don't have a GoPro anymore, or at least I don't know where my GoPro is. But yeah, Horizons Thursday. We will be writing Python. We'll be writing Python on Thursday. So actually, if y'all want to come through and get a little more practice, we're gonna be writing Python. Writing Python. What does the RS look like? My RS is just blue. I got the nitrous blue one. No external mods. I have no mods on it besides some tint. It is tuned, but that's about it. I'm waiting to see how it performs on track to determine if I want to put work into that, or if I want to, you know, if I really got the bug, if I really think I can make it work, I'm not, you know, I might go get like a salvage title car from the auction. It's like $2,000 or something, and track that so that I don't destroy a car that I like. But we'll see. We will see. Get a 5G hotspot. I mean, I'm supposed to be, I mean, I should be back in time, but I'm not 100% sure, and I don't want to, we'll just do it on Thursday. It just makes it easier just to do it on Thursday. But cool. Who are we going to go head over and see this evening? I mean, for a track car, it's not, for a track car, tracking is expensive. That's what I'm saying. If I run the number, I've been to the track before. This is not my first time at the track. I know that I love it, but like, I don't know, like it's very expensive. It is a very expensive hobby. But you know, wrecking a $2,000 car is much different than wrecking a $40,000 car. so, you know, it's way different, way different. All right, Bash. I don't know who Bash Bunny is, but they're doing some React Electron habit tracker dev. Cool. With NeoVim, that's dope. You can learn some Vim. You can do some React as well. So yeah, track is definitely expensive. I know. We'll see. You know, my goal is not to go all out right now. My goal is to start to comfortably get into a couple of races a year. Maybe this year, you know, the baby's gonna change everything. But my goal was to get into around 5, do around 5 track days this year. And, you know, as I'm building my business, as you know, hopefully that means I have more discretionary income, and then I can go to more track days. But we'll see what happens, man. It's just, you know, you got to dream a little bit. You got to reach for the stars. You got to see what you can make happen. I've always, you know, want to do it. And if not, if it's going to be a problem, if I can't do it, then we live in a great age where I can just build a monster sim racing rig and probably get everything that I need. And so instead of paying for car stuff, I'll just pay for a monster sim racing rig, and then I can just go right downstairs and do exactly that. I would have Bash Buddy. And that's exactly what I thought it was. So thank you for clearing that up, because it's exactly what I thought it was. All right. 24-hour lemons. Hey, lemons is, I would do lemons. I would definitely do lemons. I would 100% do lemons race, but you know, it is what it is. All right, we're gonna head over raid. Oh yeah, Hack 5. I love Hack 5. Let me see what this Bash Money is. We'll click on it real quick. My internet is loading very slow. Is this coming soon? Oh, okay, interesting. All right, well, we're out of here. Thanks everybody for coming through and having some fun. I'm looking forward to seeing what you all are going to do with the Pokemon application. Come on back tomorrow if you want to do a little bit of Ansible. Come on back Thursday if you want to do some more Python, but you want to do we want to write some serverless functions to be able to build an API. We're actually going to be building an API. So if you want to come on through and understand how the Pokemon people built what they built, we can do exactly that. But that's it. Peace out. We got to leave now because there's exactly 69 viewers going. That's really funny to me. Let's go. I'm a child. Bye.